Hi, guys. Today I want to dive in and talk about one of my all-time favorite coaching tools called the Wheel of Life. If you're not familiar with the Wheel of Life, it is a visual tool, and I'll show you that in a moment, that helps you to be able to leverage where your life is out of whack, right? Where it's maybe not balanced. And it's a great tool that I actually use personally, but then I also use it within my coaching practice as well. So essentially, the wheel consists of 8 different areas or categories. Some wheels will have 10 different areas that are important for a balanced life. And clients use this wheel to rate their level of satisfaction with each area and then map out on the wheel what it looks like, okay? And this gives us immediate overview into their life and where they're out of whack or where they're in balance or where things need to shift. And in turn, the wheel allows clients to see right away which areas of their life might need improvement. And this wheel is accredited to Paul J. Meyer, who was amazing when he invented this back in the 1960s. So this is what the Wheel of Life looks like. And you can see that there's these different areas. The cool thing is you can alter these areas to see what fits. So for example, if a client, maybe the word finance doesn't register with the client and they want to call that area budget or abundance or something like that. Or maybe social life is they want to replace that with something like education or something like that. Family may be broken in 2 different categories and be family and friends separately. So you essentially create this wheel based on values and areas that are of most importance to your client or to yourself if you're leveraging it for yourself. And then you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, I'm way out of whack and things aren't going well, and 10 being like, I feel really fulfilled in this area. And what you'll notice is as you fill out this wheel is that you'll color up to a certain point where you're at. So let's say, for example, I'm doing really well financially. I may color all the way up to this financial, little triangle pizza slice, so to speak. But then maybe health-wise, I'm not doing so well. So then right here, I'm coloring down really low to about, let's say I feel about 50% successful in that area. I'd maybe color about halfway through. Okay. Or maybe if I'm feeling 25%, I'll color closer to the bottom. So you're essentially getting your client to color through the wheel. And what you're doing is you're having the client review the different 8 areas on their life balance wheel. You ask them to rate their level of satisfaction, right? And color up until that point, like we talked about. And then that perimeter actually represents their wheel of life. So after they've colored it, you'd ask your client to look at their completed wheel and say, if this was your wheel of life, would it be a bumpy ride? And for most people, it is going to feel extremely bumpy, right? Because you'll have one area you're excelling in, or maybe a couple areas you're excelling in, and then some other areas where you want to put in some extra work. Your goal is then to leverage this feedback that you get from this amazing reflection tool to determine what learnings you've taken away from that, and then what is an action step that you can take moving forward to show improvement with it. So as a coach, the way in which I use it, as I told you, I mentioned this, I use it personally with my own life. What areas of my own life do I want to improve upon? And this is helpful because it's a good reflection tool for me, but it's also me embodying the work that I walk my clients through. You can use it with a prospective client, teaching them how to access what areas they want to work on. You can use it in a client welcome package to see where a client is starting. And then when you offboard them, you can talk about the improvement that they've made by reviewing it. You can use it to prioritize where their area of focus needs to be and what goals they need to set. You can use it to help a client create a magnetic future, a future that they're like, oh, I set this goal and now I can actually envision it. I can see how it can happen based on these other areas that can feed each other, right? You can use it to test and see which goals are most meaningful for the client. You can use it, like I said, to highlight progress, like when you're offboarding a client to see the growth that they've had. You can use it as a diagnostic tool to see, okay, have you ever had someone come to you, or maybe you felt this way, where you're like, I just feel so unsatisfied, or my life is just so messed up, but you can't even pinpoint what's going wrong with it, right? When you have this as a diagnostic tool, you can see where things are out of whack, which is so supportive. You can use it in coaching programs and in workshops, speaking engagements, and I mean, truly the options are endless, okay? If you would like to use this tool and take your coaching sessions to the next level, I have an amazing offer for you. I have the Elevate Your Client Sessions Guide. And this is so amazing because with the Elevate Your Coaching sessions, you are not only going to get the Wheel of Life and learn about the Wheel of Life, right? That's just an added on component. You are actually going to get an amazing guide that gives you so much support on how to run a coaching session, the most pivotal things that you need as a coach, the most pivotal components that make this session impactful, the different strategies and tasking activities that you can do with your clients. And it's important to note that this is not just a normal onboarding and offboarding template. This is an amazing resource that shows you the energetics of coaching. Okay. Here you're going to learn the true meaning behind holding space for your clients and facilitating crazy powerful transformations while still honoring and protecting your boundaries as a coach, because I am all about sustainability. All right. So use the show notes, check out the link below where you can grab your coaching sessions bundle. And what I'd love to know is how you can leverage this moving forward. What are some things that you'll do to use this to leverage it moving forward? I want to give you 12 reflective questions that can help you think as you start to process your own personal wheel of life, and things that you can also ask and support your clients with. But as you look at your wheel, if you decide to use it, I want you to think about, how does it make you feel? What comes up for you? What surprises are there? Do you notice that maybe the areas you're spending the most amount of time with are the areas that you feel really strong in? And maybe the areas where you're not spending so much time that you don't feel so strong. How or what could you do to make this score all the way up to a 10? Maybe there's an area you're struggling in and you're like, how do I get my family area to a 10, right? What would a score of 10 look and feel like for you? Which of these categories feels most pressing to want to improve upon? And how could you make space for these changes in your life, right? What help might you need from others to do that? What changes would you desire to make first? And what is the smallest step you could take to get started? And then finally, what is one key action that would begin to bring everything into balance? I love this so much because I think a lot of times we buy into the idea that we have to have these massive quantum leaps to create success. But even those small, seemingly meaningless tasks can create powerful transformations if you're committed to them. So what is one step that you can take as you listen to this video that will help you step into that next level of who you're called to be? I'd love to know. All right. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you inside the amazing No Brainer Bundle.